What is real? How do you define real?
Like everyone else, you were born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
The Fashion Matrix Podcast with Pablo Mentor.
Wake up and be free.
There we go. Okay. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode here for the Fashion Matrix. This is a very special episode because I have a friend of mine, a special guest. He's someone that I've been watching for quite a while now, and he's one of the few people that I know that are implementing the things that he's saying, the things that he's thinking, and putting it out there, manifesting. It's getting manifested into the cosmos, into the world, and it's pretty fucking cool to see that. Image-wise, money-wise, real estate-wise, success in all aspects, even spiritually, right? So, without any further ado, what's going on, my brother Jose? What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? It's great to be here. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here, man. And I know that you mentioned to me or introduced your friend, but I also look up to you as a teacher and as a mentor, brother, because throughout the years, I've learned a lot from you. And you need to give like a quick background of who I am, where I come from, things like that.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that. I'm having some fucking lagging. I don't know if it's okay on your side.
On the Zoom, it's fine for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
God,
I can hear you.
Well, you know what? It's probably the spirits, man. The spirits fuck up the goddamn the technology. But that actually happens, man. That actually happens when you get good at bringing spiritual beings. They fuck up the technology, man. That's one of the main things that happen. So, okay, there's a lot that you and I could talk about, man. A lot. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on my podcast is because, as I said, brother, you're one of the few people that I see taking action on the things that you're learning. So why don't we go ahead and start talking about that, man? What is the main difference that you see in people around you? You are way up ahead, man. You're way up ahead. You're 10 steps ahead from people that are on the same group as you are, that maybe are the same age, maybe your friends, maybe your colleagues, your coworkers, maybe even your family. And, I started noticing the shifts in you. I started noticing you implementing a shift in your image as well. So I said, God damn, this guy actually he's getting it, right? You're actually fucking getting it. You're not just nodding anymore and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh man, what you say, Pablito, about image, man, that's badass. That's phenomenal. No, but you are okay. One step, two steps, boop, 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 and you stack them up, and all of a sudden, boom, you have a fucking powerful king right here in front of me. I mean, god damn, look at this guy right here. So, why don't you talk about that a little bit for a second, man?
Yeah, brother, of course. So, I mean, the first things first that, I've experienced a dramatic change was when I moved out on my own. That was the biggest shift for me because I remember that I met you in the first Modern Success event. And there, I was just starting out with C. Brian, who is my mentor still, and was my mentor at the time. And man, I just noticed that, I joined his program just because I wanted to become a better estate agent and I wanted to make more money, obviously. I was not, I didn't know that there was so much more about the mind. There was so much about the body, there was about the spirit. Like just being around the environment of being with BC and then meeting you, that there was just more than just money and business, and it was just bigger area of life. And I wanted to be better. Number one, the first thing that I implemented was communication and communication within myself, most importantly. So I started to notice that obviously we are operating from, at first, we're operating very automatic for our subconscious mind, right? Almost in a pattern that it's predictable, within our day. And the minute that I started to communicate within myself and say these affirmations that I practice, meditate, journal, write things down, in to that higher self and higher frequency, not just living in the lower chakras, like you mentioned, or the lower centers of perception.
Yeah.
I was able to see something that I've never before and feel a way that I've never felt before. I was able to see the truth, and importantly, bro, because I really gotta get to vacation, because vacation was like the whole me to see what was being communicated within myself through family, teachers, politicians, and everybody else. And at the same time, I was seeing how I was communicating with myself and with everybody. That's why I'm wearing right now the blue Mesa Gate, which is the blue stone for the throat chakra, communication, the throat perception. And I just really was intrigued by communication for me. So, and I'm not just talking and speaking about communication the way that I speak, because obviously spells, but I'm always thinking about the patterns that you operate in your life. You're always communicating, whether it's through nature, to the universe, because it's already encrypted, and the codes are already there. So I know that, like, if I say I'm gonna do something and I do it, there's a reward from that, because now I'm creating a relationship with myself and with the universe, because it's not even just self perceiving myself, but now is other people perceiving me and seeing that I am the person I say I am, and now I'm getting treated differently by other people, and it's just like this whole different compound effect. But honestly, bro, I could say that communication really started it off for me, and I think that it's something that he really talked about a lot, and I was just attracted to that for sure, man.
Yeah, well, that's phenomenal. That's fantastic, man. Thank you for sharing that. And there's so many different layers that we can talk about communication, because people always think, well, communication is one thing, which is verbal communication, right? And nonverbal communication. And when you talk about nonverbal communication, most people think, well, it's body language and that's it. And it's my thoughts, the way that I communicate with myself. Wrong. There's so many different steps, so many different layers, and layers within layers. Communication is so complex, and it's what made us who we are. It is what made us as a species. It is what makes us different from any other motherfucking species in the world that we know of. We know that we are, in quotes, intelligent because we can speak, because we are aware of ourselves, and we can communicate, we can express ourselves, we know who we are, and through that we communicate it in so many different ways. And one of the ways that I also saw you implementing communication was image is communication, man, right? You've gone to the fucking seminars, you've heard me on stage, and I see you implementing it as well, because it's not just okay, image is fashion. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about fashion, which, just talking about pure fashion, you've experienced it. Maybe you can share a little bit on that in a moment also, after I pass it back to you. Just talking about pure fashion, the power of fashion and outfits. God damn, it's a whole nother topic. But let's continue with communication, right? Image is perception plus communication. God damn, that gives you a whole fucking world to explore. Communication and perception, motherfucker, that's a whole thing, right? That's a whole fucking thing, a whole world on its own. And one of the beauties and the subtleties of image is that you become responsible for your own communication. And through becoming responsible through your own communication, which is exactly what you're doing, what you started doing, you became the master of your own world, of how you perceive yourself, how you perceive the world, which means you created a whole new reality for yourself and for those around you. And that is so beautiful to watch. That is so beautiful to perceive and see. God damn, you see, it's not just one fucking crazy paisa mustache comiendo manguito guy talking about this. This actually works. This is a fucking science, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking cool that, yeah, that communication has so many different layers. I love communication. I also talk a bit about communication, but you can say that you can become a master at different levels of, or not levels, different subcategories of communication, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot, I know a lot of mentors of communication, but some of them get stuck in one part of communication, but there's so many different ways. I could say that I'm very good at one subcategory of communication, which is image wise. I'm the fucking master when it comes to that. Maybe when it comes to speech patterns and all of that, I struggle with that. Not only because of the language barriers, but yeah, I mean, I'm still learning, and I'm still learning every fucking day anyway. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought this fact, communication, and how it changed your entire world, man. That is so fucking cool. So now, why don't you talk about a little bit of image, communication through image, or image through communication, and the power of fashion, and what you experience when it comes to that, man?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I can interpret, and from my experience with communication, like an image, I just did an event the other day, which I saw my story.
Yeah, congratulations, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate it.
That was dope.
Yeah,
That
so
was dope.
it was I had the image of, like, for example, the way that I see myself, I put an outfit together, or before I wear anything, for some reason I always see a vision of myself first. Like, I
Hmm.
always see that, like, oh, I would be cool wearing that. Oh, that would make sense. And it would always be to represent who I am and the status that I
Yeah.
represent as an individual. So I remember when I was stepping into that stage, I was putting in the green velvet jacket, which represents money, wealth, power,
Yeah.
and the way that I put the outfit together with these glasses. Again, you could tell me what they do. I don't know what they do, but it definitely, for me, the way that I see it, it makes me look a lot wiser and more serious. So when I was communicating with the crowd, I noticed that everybody was kind of looking up to me in a way where, even before me opening my mouth, when people were coming into the stage, into the place, they were like, "Oh, he must be one of the speakers." Like, versus if I was just wearing sweats and fucking wearing a tank top with a fucking Manguito stain, bro, could have been like,
God, dude, get out of here.
they would have been like, "Oh, this guy's here to fucking sweep floors, man." And it's like, the thing is, it's like, we laugh about shit, and it's the truth.
But it's true.
The people think that it's like, oh, like, you shouldn't judge people for how they look, but you can't fucking help it. Like, you're always gonna judge somebody, because at the end of the day, we were able to have judgment, be able to distinguish our generalizations that we've been able to develop life. So if we see something that
Yeah.
looks dangerous, or somebody that's wearing something fucking dangerous, like blood on their fucking suit, you're gonna be like, oh, a minute, this is fucking weird. So that's all image, and that's all perception, and just like being able to carry this image. And the most important thing as well is, I was standing up there like a fucking boss, wearing fucking nice jewelry, which is not even fucking expensive. Like, this watch looks nice. I bought it for fucking
Yeah.
$40 on Amazon. It's a shit watch, but it looks fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not here to like brag about it, but in
No.
the first initial contact of when your person looks at you, you put something together. Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be designer, doesn't have to be
Yeah.
anything crazy. But if it fucking looks good, man, people are gonna respect that and see beyond that. It's like, not even like, oh, that guy looks fancy, but it's
Yeah.
that guy took the time to put himself together in the way that he did. So that means that he really paid attention to the small details. I'm gonna feel comfortable around this person, because I know that he respects himself, and if he respects himself, he must respect others as well. So it's like, there's so many subliminal communication
Yeah.
underneath perception, and man, it's fucking big, dude. I bought your course on the power of colors in your book. There's a lot of fucking context on that, and bro, that's really fucking powerful, man. I really appreciated that you made that, because that's helped me a lot putting things together.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, because even talking about pure image, which we already established that is communication and perception, there's other layers behind image, which one would be colors, the power of colors and the impact, the subliminal, emotional, physical, spiritual, and psychological impact of each fucking color. It's a whole world. It's super super extensive and super beautiful, man. So yeah, man, there's so much that I can talk about what you said, man. Because the way I see it is it transcends looking good or bad. Because maybe what you perceive as looking good to me is get the fuck out of here. You look like shit, right? Maybe to me, that's why we categorize everything in life. We categorize everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's so that we can organize ourselves, organize our fucking thoughts, organize our fucking life to get some discipline and know what the fuck we're doing through steps. So the theory of style, we develop 7 different styles that actually talk about the 7 different universal archetypes, right? Archetypes are everywhere. So it's you know, I'm glad that you see that the impact that you have on people through something so simple as a color, as a blazer, as the way you talk, as the way you move. You combine all of that and you see the power behind all of that, man. And it's not that you're doing it in a superficial way, like, oh, I want people to look at me and look at my ass. Oh man, look at my gains. No, you're doing it as a weapon. That's the beauty of this. You don't talk just to look at hear my voice. He's so fucking cool and deep. Get the fuck out of here. You said as a tool, as a fucking weapon, and you aim and you shoot and you do something with it. That's the beauty of it. Like a fucking sharp sword, like a goddamn spear, piercing through every fucking bullshit that the world is being fed up with, right? And that's why when we see people like you, we see truth, and there's no denying it, and there's no other way but to follow people like you, man. Follow people like us that were like, God damn, look at these guys. There's got to be something different about you. What are you doing? Now we're talking. What am I doing? Come on over here, baby. I'll show you. And boom, 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 boom. And you start talking about all of these, right? So it's very, very important that you guys understand that all of these things, even though maybe we can talk about something else, because I know I get this a lot, and probably you get this a lot also because you're a teacher now as well, and you're starting to doing your seminars. You have your own podcast, by the way, which is Built from Pain, right? You guys
Yes.
gotta go listen to it. Uh, you probably get this a lot, man. I get this a lot where people, it's overwhelming for them. So much information. There's so many things to learn, man. Image, fashion, colors, spirituality, language patterns, NLP, hypnosis, sales, body language, God damn, seduction, attraction, God damn, so many things. And people are, people that the beginners, like right, just starting up, very young people are want to get ahead. What would you say to them, bro?
I
Or what do you
fucking
say to them?
love this question, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love this question, bro,
yeah,
because honestly, like it connects with exactly what I'm doing now, which is real estate. So just like another person that I could say that is doing this as well is Brian Casella, BC. So for
yeah.
example, he uses
Shout
his
out to him.
communication and everything that he learns in sales, and it helps in his teachings as well. So for me, the way that I see it is number one, that's what makes it exciting, right? Because if you have all other fields and all these other aspects, all the things that you're learning is making you a better human being. And the way that I look at it is, for example, you could get rich and make a fucking shit ton of money in video games. There's a lot of people that's done that. But what do you fucking create with yourself? Like, who do you become in the process of doing that?
Yeah,
Oh, you're fucking just better at video games, and that's it. But if the world was ever to go to shit and you needed survival skills, you needed communication, you needed to influence other people, you needed to impact other people, you wouldn't have any of that shit. So for me, I'm so grateful that I've been able to stumble upon real estate, find BC, find you, and then now be able to say, fuck, dude, I could use all of this shit in my career, make more money, make more relationships. And that's like for a young person that's, listening, think about something that you can implement, things that will help you build up as a person, as a character, so that you can use it in all aspects of life. Because I use everything that I learned
yeah,
in sales. I use it whether I am out at a venue approaching a woman. I use it when I'm working out. I use it when I'm boxing.
yeah.
I literally fucking use this shit everywhere, man. I use it when I'm speaking to my mom, when I'm speaking to my father, my family members, bro, my
When you're eating
fucking brother,
manguito.
okay, shout out to Juanito. No, man, but you get the point, man. And
Yeah,
these skills, you could fucking use it everywhere because it's universal. It's on
yeah,
with the laws. It's on code. So it's so beautiful to be able to get in alignment with whether it's a career, a business, or something that you could do that allows you to implement these skills because now you're growing from it and you're building yourself as a more valuable individual in this existence and in spiritual existence as well. So yeah, man, that's what I would say about it, bro.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, in other words, learn from BC, learn from me, learn from you, learn from all of us, motherfuckers. Right? Yeah. Nah, nah, nah. But yeah, for real, man. By the way, shout out to Brian, because we've been talking about him, Brian. We've been saying his name for a long time right now. So shout out to you, brother, partner. Te mando un manguito desde acá, desde el podcast. Ya tú sabes que lo que hay,
Tú
palomazo.
sabes.
Carajo, okay. Ya tú sabes, pelotudo. All right, man. So now another thing that I want to talk about, which is something that I got tattooed. You can see it right here. This is called Teocuitlatl. This is an ancient teaching from my ancestors, man. That actually means this is something that had to do way back in the day, man. Way back in the day, they already knew that you need to connect all four different paths that make you who you are, which is the spiritual side, the emotional side, the mind, and of course the physical side as well. All of them combined create who you are. And if you just study one, there's so many, again, there's so many different layers. There's levels within levels and levels and levels and levels and levels and levels and levels, man. Which is what you said a little bit, man, that I fucking love. That through real estate, which is something that most people can be like, well, yeah, just real estate, man. I just want to make money. I just want to sell houses. God damn, look at how much you implemented in your life through, in quotes, just real estate. Because BC, he made it into a whole different thing, right? And he invites people like me, that I'm an image consultant and I'm also a fucking shaman and I talk about spirituality. That's something also that maybe we can talk about, man.
Hell yeah.
I want to see your perception on that. Because even me right now, you experienced you actually experienced a transformation within me and within my own teachings. Way back in the day, I was just talking about pure fashion, pure image, man, and the way that I talk, the way that I move, the way that I dress, it was different. Now we did a thing together, which we'll cover in a moment, man. The ceremony that we did, it was fucking powerful. But I think most people get stuck into, well, it's just real estate. What else am I gonna learn, man? It's just fashion. It's just image. What else am I gonna fucking learn, man? Right? And they get stuck in this narrow mind or this narrow vision of just looking at one thing through one lens. And there's so many different things. It's not just fucking white or black. There's so many different sucking colors in between. So I think with people like that, what would you say to people like that? Because we see someone like my good brother and one of my best friends, Brian. He's not just into real estate. He's a badass, doing so many different things: boxing, bees, cars. You can look at me, man. I'm not just a fucking image consultant. I'm also into spirituality, and most people don't know how to cope with it within their own parts and their counterparts. How do they unite all of these things that maybe on the outside make no sense, all these multifaceted aspects of ourselves, and we are made out of so many layers, right? That's why everything is connected. How do we connect all of that, man? Now, this is something that I talk every single fucking day, but I want to see your input on that, man.
So the way that I've been doing it, brother, is having a structure with my life.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the day, as soon as I wake up, I have 3 books laying right next to my bed is the fucking floor because I've been sleeping on the floor now for like 3 months.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's a spiritual reason as well because it helps you become uncomfortable and tap into that unknown, which helps you adapt and helps you change. So I keep 3 books besides my bed, and when I wake up every time, I have this candle right here. I just finished cooking, so I put it next to me because it fucking smells good. And I have this lighter next to my bed as well, with the 3 books. So the first thing that I do as soon as I get up is I light this bitch up, ching,
Yeah.
meditate 15, 20 minutes. Now that my wave pattern, brain patterns are slower already, so I'm able to tap into that meditative state a little bit quicker. I wake up early, a lot of people 4 a.m., and that gives me the ability to, number one, meditate. After that, I journal. So anything that's on my mind, I just write it down, everything that I'm feeling, everything that I'm experiencing. So I'm really in tune with my process and what's going on day to day, any ideas that have came. Another thing that I'm looking to implement because of you, brother, is becoming aware of my dreams, because it's something that I have been I have interesting dreams sometimes, and obviously, if I don't write it down or if I don't, invest in it, it just fucking disappears.
Yeah.
So that would be the spiritual part, the first thing in the morning, checking with my spirit, checking with my mind, and then I go right ahead to working out with my physical, which is the physical aspect of it. So being able to synchronize those things right before even fucking making a sales call, before even going to my job, which is wealth and establishing that part of humanity in the civilization that we live, because it's what we live right now, the exchange of currency with money. Before all of it, bro, it's like I work on myself first, and I just think that there's a lot of people that just get up and go to work without taking care of themselves, because one of the things that you have to do as an individual is take care of yourself first, because you are your first client, you are your first customer. So for me, it's about priming my mind, being grateful for the things that I'm grateful for, meditating, becoming more conscious with my subconscious, more conscious with my automated nervous system and everything else. That's why I do the fucking cold showers, and just see how I respond to the shock, and just connecting with myself, like spending fucking time with myself. You know how many people just go on their fucking phone, listen to music, okay, and let their mind or their thoughts actually have any substance or hold any value or weight? That's why I feel like so many people, bro, are like doing things that they don't want to do, because they're constantly being influenced by media, by rap songs, by bullshit, and they don't go on walks.
Yeah.
They don't go on nature, and they don't let themselves captivate the intelligence that is flowing all of us. Because one of the examples that I always give, bro, and look, I don't know if there was other beings here before us. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. There's a lot of texts that say there was, but point is, we never had any of this shit before. Any of this. We didn't have any of these books. We didn't have any of these. So there has to be a way, a technology, an idea. And I feel like the way that I see it, bro, is that when you meditate, you're able to tap in to those ideas that are flowing around in the universe, because those are waves. Like your thoughts are waves. Your thoughts are real. Every time you're having a thought,
Of course.
it's substance. It's something. It's not just invisible. That it's a thought, bro. So that's why another thing that I could to this, bro, is like how many times are we in the car with like a friend or some shit, and you say some shit, and then they're like, "Yo, I was just about to say that," So that's an act of synchronizing within each other, because all of our thoughts, and especially when we mastermind, that's another thing on Think and Grow Rich. I learned, when we mastermind, we're able to come up with greater ideas, like the things that we're doing now on the podcast. It's like, it's just the synchronicity. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, what I just said, but the coming together of everybody else, and the ideas that you relate with the universe. It's so fucking incredible, bro. But what I could say is fucking structure your life in a way where you could take business, you could take yourself, and you take care of the relationships around you. That's the best way that I could put it, man.
Beautiful. So we can take from these that you need to build yourself up individually first to then actually be able to be of service to the collective, to the fucking world, to society, right? Because I love that you mentioned it. Yes, you need to have a fucking job. You don't have, even if you're into spirituality, dreams, and all these things, you don't want to be a fucking homeless, just wasting breath and time. Come on, man, you gotta do something. You have a fucking purpose. You have to make some fucking money, man. Because even if you want to learn, even if you want to fucking invest in a book, what do you need? You need fucking money, right? So you need to be of service. You need to be of value to yourself and to the fucking um, society, because we live in a fucking society. It's something that I also learned. Well, we inherently know about this, but something that the native cultures, the Toltecs, they spoke about that. They didn't say, well, it's all about spirituality like the Buddhists. No, fuck fuck the the physical realm. I'm gonna, me voy a rapar el cabello, and I'm just gonna be bald, and I'm not gonna eat. No, 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 no. The Toltecs. That's why I fucking love the Toltec idol, because they were like, yeah, there's layers of spirituality and all these beautiful things in different dimensions, and the fourth dimension, the astral realm, where you can get into dreams and soñar and all of these beautiful lucid dreaming and all these things. However, you still have a body.
Yeah.
All right. So don't make it any less. Don't make it any less the your body, your energy, your masculinity, your femininity. The fact that you need to go out there. That's why we call ourselves spiritual warriors. Because what is a warrior? A warrior lives out there on the fucking battlefield, always ready, prepared, right? It's not that, oh, I'm out there in the fucking cosmos and I don't talk anymore. I'm not allowed to learn from humans. I actually learn. you know, someone that we know, Brian and I, said that to us one time, man. Can you imagine that? Oh, I'm not allowed. Listen to this, man. I am not allowed to learn from humans anymore. And we were like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. And man, people get lost. People lose their shit in physical things. Maybe they get too much into spirituality, especially women. Well, we have to say it as it is. Oh, yeah, the universe compelled. Oh my God, my astrologer told me that this is exactly what was going to happen. Like, shut the fuck up, all right? You need to also be intelligent here, right? There are different types of minds, and you need to operate from all of them. People that get lost only in the physical side. Well, I'm bulking and I'm so strong. I look at my body. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, but there's also other parts. People that get lost in the emotions. Oh, I'm only going to do something if I feel like it. No, 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 no. Which is something that I see with you, man. Your discipline, the action-based lifestyle that you have. It's no, and correct me if I'm wrong, man. When I see you and you do your stuff, I don't see someone thinking about, well, do I feel like it? No, no. You said you were gonna do something, you fucking do it, because it's not longer about yourself. It's about the action itself. Well, do I feel like it? No, 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 no. So some people get lost in that part, in the emotional side. And the mind sometimes can become, it's a very powerful ally, but it's also a very powerful enemy, your worst enemy, right? That overthinking, that fucking, the little voice inside of you telling you, no, you're a piece of shit, no, 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 don't do it, all that. Damn, the mind can also become very, very fucked up, right? So that's why I love the way that you said it, man. It's first, cultivate yourself, right? First, you have to be good with yourself. Then, eventually, then you'll learn these, that, and everything. That's so true, man. Now, I want to talk about, because, man, there's literally so many different things that we can talk about, and so many different things that I want to talk about, man. But I want to talk about something that you and I discussed in our ceremony, because a lot of shit happened, and we'll not get into all the details, because this is an intimate thing. It was an intimate thing, and it is something that what was said there, and it's not to be repeated, right? But some of the things that I want to mention right here is, we spoke about how people are getting manipulated so easily, and we live in this world, in the information era, right? There's a lot of information. Anybody can be, in quotes, woke right now. And we see so many people saying, I'm woke. Oh, I'm an independent woman. I'm a fucking independent man. I'm woke AF. All this bullshit. Yet they are getting manipulated by the bullshit that we see right now. Which the example is COVID-19, for example. God damn, you and I were talking about this, right? Do you remember some of the visions that you had and all this shit? Like, man, people are fucking dumb as my.
Yeah,
We
bro.
actually
Yeah,
live in
that
the
was
matrix.
real as fuck, bro. That was real as fuck when we were talking about that, man. Holy shit, I remember
Yeah,
that. That was an interesting talk, bro. Fuck.
yeah. Go ahead, talk about it, man.
Dude, man, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it because the way that I saw it, bro, just remembering a little bit of our conversation, it just felt like a lot of people were hiding from the things that they really wanted to face in life,
Mm,
like, and I always thought about it in a way where it's like, man, so many people are fucking scared of certain things that they have to face in life, whether it's, and I'll talk about it in this way because this is the way that it's being brought back to me right now. Um,
Yeah.
let's say for example, like COVID-19, right? A lot of people are saying it to everybody, oh, wear your mask. Next, and then it's usually a fucking unhealthy motherfucker that never took care of himself once, and now is talking about wear their mask, like, and now it's calling you selfish because they're the ones that are a fucking risk. They could die any fucking second, bro. Like,
Yeah.
they're a fucking walking disease. Like, motherfucker, you're telling me to wear a mask, go to the fucking gym and lose some fucking weight, you know? So the thing is that people always try to put their bullshit on other people. You know, they're not being real
Yeah.
with themselves. And those are the people that are really fucking wearing a mask because they're committing one of the biggest sins, which is placing their bullshit on everybody
Yeah.
else. You know how we're contributing with these fucking episodes on the podcast and like everything that we're pouring in with our fucking hearts and souls and just everything that we're giving out into the world to contribute to make it a better place. Yet
Yeah.
there are other motherfuckers that are just spreading bullshit, contaminating and polluting the minds of other people. And 99% of the time, it's because of their own self justification of the true pieces of shit they really are. Like, if you really think about that, bro, like, there are so many fucking people, man, that are just putting their bullshit onto somebody else because they don't want to be responsible for their own
There you go.
life. And that is the main fucking thing here that, that's the way that it originated back into my mind. And that's fucking huge, bro. It's huge.
There you go. God damn. Whoa, shit. You're woke ass, brother.
I'm
Damn.
fucking woke, bro. My pineal gland is calcified, bro.
Decalcified as fuck. Damn.
Come on.
Yeah, that is so true. I think we saw some fucking masks when we were in the forest. You remember that? I think we saw a fucking mask laying
On
out
the
there in
ground,
the
I think.
forest on the
Yeah, yeah,
ground.
yeah, yeah.
God, yeah, I mean, you have to be a stupid motherfucker to be out there in the forest. First of all, wearing a cocksucking mask out there in nature. How stupid can you be? God damn it. Breathing your own fucking carbon dioxide. You have to be stupid, man. But yeah, man, this is something that gets under my fucking skin because the fact that the information is out there, for everyone to see it. The information, the answers are right there, and yet we're well, you and I are not getting manipulated, or we're conscious about the things that are happening, and we make a conscious choice. Yes, I know these things are bad for me. For example, I know that drinking is bad for me, yet I drink whiskey because I fucking love it. But I make a conscious choice out of it. I don't have to be told that, hey, did you know that fucking alcohol, blah 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 blah. Yeah, the point is you have to become, like you said, responsible for yourself, and that is something a lot of people are not ready to do or don't want to do because you have to face your own demons. You have to face yourself. You have to be responsible for every single fucking thing that you say, think, feel, do, or not do, because everything adds up. And also, not only responsible for yourself, but coming to the realization that the things that you do or you don't do affect also society, affect others around you. So it's not just that, oh yeah, I'm wearing a mask because that's what the media is saying and blah blah blah. No, you don't realize that you're contributing to the bullshit, to the matrix, actually, to the fucking agent Smiths out there in the world, to the fucking Karens out there in the fucking world. And it's so sad, so sad. Yet
Yeah,
I
man.
see people like you doing your shit as well, and it's how do you say it? It's beautiful. It's uh, you know, I forget the word, but it brings back the strength. It's refreshing to say like, okay, we're doing something. This shit actually works. Let's keep fucking pushing because we need more people like you and me. We need more people like you, man. We need more fucking Jose's to be strong and out there putting their fucking word out there. Disconnecting people from the matrix. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, right? So why don't we go ahead and jump into the topic of the spiritual experience, if you can say it like that, that you had. That we had a session together. We went to the forest. We saw a lot of things, and something I also remember something you mentioned earlier before that people are so outside of themselves, not working on themselves that even when they are in the forest, I think I brought this to your attention, and you already know it though, that They're not watching the creek, the river. They're not paying attention to the sound of the trees. They're not paying attention to anything. They're so much into themselves, listening to fucking music or talking amongst themselves, and they're not there, in quotes, in the moment, present. You're in the forest. Pay respect. Be there. See the medicine that is right in front of you, but they're like scattered all over the place. Again, we went to the forest. We had a fantastic session, and then we did a ceremony, a fire ceremony, and we did a medicine. Right? We had medicine. So, in a nutshell, what could you share out of this experience? Because I know that you've been studying a lot about communication, attraction, physical things. You take care of yourself, but maybe the spiritual side. I don't know how much you know or don't know about this, and I'd like to know what was your experience and how has it impacted you now, the before and the after. What are you seeing now that your pineal gland is decalcified and all of these things, man? What are you feeling? What was your experience and all these things?
Yeah, yeah. So, main thing that I'm feeling is that I'm feeling more comfortable with myself, number one, because now that, whenever I engage nature again, I see it a whole complete, I see it differently, bro. Like, it will never fucking be the same. Like, I can never go back into nature the same way that I did before, bro, because the way that we did it was in such a peaceful way that, like, for example, man, the way that I see it, bro, is like everything has their own laws, and everything can detect if you're an enemy or a friend. And even if, like, you're not exactly, and bro, it's always gonna come back to communication, because that's the
Yeah.
shit for me, man. Like, even if you're not like 100% aware of what the fuck you're doing, you're still doing it. You're still doing it. So, it's always good to learn from individuals like yourself about nature and understand the proper way of communicating with the environment, because if you do communicate with the environment properly, it's going to communicate with you and reciprocate that same energy that you're giving out into nature. And
Yeah.
for me, brother, it's been something where even when I'm not in nature, I've been more aware and more in tune with the ideas that I am just receiving from the infinite intelligence, or the field, or wherever the fuck is the source,
Yeah.
So I feel more connected with
Mm.
my spirit, and I'm able to now, if I can even take it from that, like in nature, obviously being one with the trees, the environment, the animals. Because the thing is like, even like we were talking about, the birds and everything around you, they become more friendly with you and they get closer with you. That's one of the things that I noticed when we were sitting by the stream, how all of the animals were
Yeah.
kind of coming in. And this is not no fairy tale bullshit. This is the real
Mhm.
shit that was happening and I was experiencing, where just the environment kind of started to accept you being there and not really saying, "Oh, this motherfucker is a fucking stranger, just taking everything away, eating a fucking manguito, waiting for the manguito to fall off the tree." So it's like
Yeah.
it was such a beautiful experience where, again, I always see it as there's always different steps of consciousness, whether
Yeah.
it's in the spiritual world, whether it's in your mind and your body and your emotions. And spiritually, definitely, man, I feel closer to not just other human beings, because I can
Mm.
feel them more and I can feel their pain just when I look into their eyes, and I can connect with them on a deeper level, also with the things that we have never been taught to communicate with, like the trees, the animals, and just everything else, brother.
That's beautiful. And yeah, going back, circling back to communication, I think you saw a different form of communication, communication with the forest, communication with trees. Who would have thought that you can actually communicate with trees and they communicate because everything communicates. It's just different levels of communication. So yeah, I think communication is a key to many different doors, right? It opens so many different doors and full of possibilities. But that's beautiful, yeah, man. And that's why, the more the word you said, connected, and it's such a used word right now. Everyone misuses it. Oh, I'm connected. Bitch, you ain't connected. You're just saying it because it sounds cool, right? But something that
Yeah.
you and I experience, is connection, not only to the forest, not only to the subtleties and the different energies of the cosmos, of the environment, but also with ourselves. I know for a fucking fact that you and I were talking during the fire ceremony without even talking. We were saying a lot of shit. We were exchanging communication on an electromagnetic way, on an energy level. And you were saying things to me, and I was saying things to you. And I know that you got it. Because all of a sudden you would start laughing like, hey, yeah, motherfucker. And it was like, oh, yeah, you got it, man. You motherfucker, you get it. And I got some things out of you as well. So that openness. I remember that one of the things that I got, because each ceremony, even though I'm already at a level where I teach these things, I still learn. You still learn every single fucking day. Even though you're a teacher and you're a mentor, you still learn every day. But I remember the word openness, the fact that we're so closed down. And I remember telling you something that was passed on to me, a very beautiful teaching, an ancient teaching, that is, think with your heart, feel with your brain. You remember that? Think with
The
your
ancient.
heart, feel with your brain.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. So being open, not saying that, yeah, open to your emotions. No, just being open to the different possibilities within you first. Like you mentioned, you need to establish yourself first. Establish this machine, establish your mind, your communication, your body, everything about you. Then it begins to open up, and life gets a different perspective. You get a different perspective out of life. Everything becomes more whole, with yourself, with your surroundings, and with other people, with your relationships. And I don't know, man. The fact that you can see the code of the matrix and you can influence into that code makes it so much more powerful to live, much more blissful, so much more colorful, impactful. And it's so worth it. Like, goddamn, I'm so fucking glad that I'm living in this time through all this bullshit of COVID and pandemic and all this shit. I'm so glad that I'm here right now. And I came here for a fucking reason. Actually, I chose to be here in this fucking time and era because we're doing some badass shit that the world fucking needs. And it's not to say that we're the only ones. I'll say it and then I'll pass it to you guys. I don't know what you say. What do you have to say about that? Me personally, I do all of these things because I want to see more people waking up to their own realities, whatever that means, whatever that might be. Maybe you want to be a bus driver. Well, be the fucking best bus driver in the motherfucking world and be woke and be open and be successful at it, because I want to see more successful people, because I know that your success affects me directly, right? I know that your mindset affects me directly or indirectly. And I know that your physical state, your mind state, or your mindset, your spirituality, your emotions, all of these things, I know that they affect me as well. So that's why everything that I do is with the goal and the purpose of you becoming conscious and a person of your own experience, so that you can live the life that you want to fucking live, instead of living the life that others built up for you, right? And that's what I want to see in the fucking world. A fucking revolution, right, man?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main things of why I think that we get along so well. You, I, Brian, and like everybody else that's in our circle, because I can say the same thing, bro. We have a very common goal, and it's about waking people up to what's really fucking real and what's happening. Because at the end of the day, if they wake up to something where now they understand the codes and they understand what's happening, now we're living and creating an environment in the world where everything that we do or everything that they do is contributing in a whole other scale to everybody else's life. So, for example, if just by us doing this episode, we inspire somebody else that is watching this to take action and do something else, that person can become a role model for a family member or a friend or somebody around them, which now they can impact hundreds of people, thousands of people, whatever it is, and it creates this chain of a new fucking found culture. Well, it's not a newfound culture, but it's a culture that's been around for many times, but now it's so much easier because of social media and the way that we can communicate, online and shit, that we are creating the awareness, or we are expanding the awareness of what's already been there to more people, so that they can begin to understand their truth and become a role model for their tribe, for their village, and then their village expands, and then everything just keeps growing until sooner or later everybody is living for that fucking cause of being the best of whatever the fuck it is. That's and in that, and within that culture in itself, there is, I mean, if you want to think about it in the regular normal fucking aspect of civilization, there could be more jobs, there could be more people making more money, there could be people emotionally, more people would be happier, uh, people would understand the male and the female dynamic a lot better, so relationships would be a lot better. There is just so much fucking things, bro. Like spiritually, you would be in a higher state, and you would be able to conduct yourself in a way where, dude, I mean, bro, to think about it in that big of a scale, who knows what the fucking happened? Who knows, man? Who knows what other life can be created just from that simple culture? Like, if you think about it, man, like, who knows, man? So I think that that's, what you're pushing and what I'm pushing, and just everything that we are expanding into the world, because automatically it's for the benefit of everybody else and for the benefit of ourselves. It's just breeding a culture where everybody fucking wins. Whatever truth that is that they're living, they're gonna be living their fucking truth, and not the truth that has been programmed into their subconscious mind by listening to the media and all this other bullshit. So, yeah, man, I think that this is definitely the way, for sure.
Yeah, totally, man. I'll end it up on Instagram, but we'll continue on Zoom. All right. So thank you everyone watching on Instagram later. Boom, and now there you go. Okay, so let's continue over here, brother. To wrap it up, yeah, man, so true, man.
Let me
Everything that we talk, we can talk about
let
so
me
many
go ahead
different
and
things, man, and just yeah. What's going on?
now I was just gonna say, let me go ahead and connect my here, so I could hear you from the mic,
All right, cool.
from the
I'll wait
headset.
for you, man. Yeah,
Cool, we're good.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
we're
I'll
good.
continue to talk, man. So this is also one of the main reasons why I want to have a podcast. When I want to, why we want to create a platform for ourselves where we can express ourselves in the way that we fucking want to, right? Because with censorship, maybe we can talk a little bit about censorship and end it up on that, or begin to wrap it up. And talking about communication, you started this podcast talking about communication. Yet we are seeing right now, and there's no denying it, that there's some evil motherfuckers out there, if you can call it evil, that are trying to stop people like you and me to communicate, and other people, just people overall. They don't want us to communicate, to speak for ourselves, to think for ourselves, to live by ourselves for ourselves, right? They have a fucking agenda and they're pushing it, and they don't give a fuck about, yeah, your communication. Well, fuck your communication. How about that, Jose? I don't give a fuck about your ability to communicate. Fuck you. And that's pretty fucked up. That's why I think we need to push even harder right now. People that are hearing this, if you're experiencing bad times, whatever the fuck you're experiencing it, first of all, become a fucking grow the fuck up, right? Because all bad experiences, good experiences, you create them on your own, and they all teach you something, and you can grow the fuck up, right? You can surpass that. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that watch fucking Jose, follow him. I'll put all of his fucking social media on the description box, because I want you to see the example of someone who is pushing every single fucking day, even when you don't feel like it, right? Because if we don't do it right now, we won't have an opportunity to express our communication, our image, and everything that you and I have been talking about, our connection to nature, all of this shit, man. There's so many different fucked up things that are happening right now. For example, I just found out that you need a special permission or permit or fucking license to buy a firewood and to have your fireplace or to have a fire pit. I don't know where this was at, which state in the United States, but I'll send you the video, man. I was like, get the fuck out of here, really, really, man. I cannot buy firewood to keep myself warm. Get the fuck out of here, man. Or grow your own food, which I know it's being banned from some different places. You cannot grow your own food. Like, dude, what the fuck is that? So
Yeah.
we gotta push harder. We gotta push harder and harder every single fucking day, even though we don't feel like it, even if we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Just fucking do it, right? So what do you think about that? What do you say about that, brother? How's it to you?
Yeah, man. The way that I can interpret that, brother, is at the end of the day, you're always going to have a clashing force of the positive and the negative, right? And the way that I see it, man, is that as long as we have strong leaders in place, then we would be able to overcome and override all of that bullshit. Because right now we're in a war. We're going through a war right now. The way that I see it. And these people, they don't want us to, like you're saying, they don't want us to grow our own food. They don't want us to fucking have firewood to keep ourselves warm. They're taking all our essential needs. They don't want us to fucking go outside through fucking COVID. Meanwhile, the fucking governor got on TV on the news and stated that he was shocked and surprised that the majority of the people that were catching COVID were the people that were fucking staying inside. Can you believe that? And then when you circle it back to everything else, because let me give you guys some facts now. When you circle it back to everything else, how the fuck are you not going to be susceptible to more diseases if you're fucking wearing a mask, you're suffocating yourself literally, all of the bacteria that you're supposed to be breathing out, you're fucking keeping right in front of your face, and you're fucking touching it. And on top of that, essential businesses are supposed to be open. Meanwhile, now they open the gym, but you have to wear that bullshit mask. But talking about when it first started, because if it was up to them, the gym would still be fucking closed. They only had fast food restaurants open. Like, they had fast food restaurants open. They had fucking the liquor store open. Is that essential? I get obviously firemen, policemen, whatever, but McDonald's, Wendy's, the fucking line in McDonald's, bro, was fucking packed. So they closed down all the gyms. So you and I can't fucking exercise, right? Which is bullshit because we're going to do it anyways because we find the fucking way, regardless of what the fuck they tell us. But I just feel like the way that it was done, and plus, not to get too deep into this whole shit, but there are just so many bad people. Like, I mean, I don't know how far I could talk about this shit, but like, for example, like fucking Bill Gates, how he's, man, like,
talk about it.
Bro, like how Bill Gates, he was caught multiple times on fucking video saying that he was planning to depopulate the fucking the human count. And
you can see he's smiling when he's saying that, by the way, right?
Yeah,
He got a smirk.
And then there's patents on these fucking COVID diseases and shit like that. And like, it's like, if you really look at where they're trying to take the world, and plus all the pedophile rings and everything that's happening, and all of that shit is being censored when you bring it to the light. What does that tell you about the people that are supporting the censorship? You know what I mean? Like, you may not think, like, for political reasons, let's say, you may say, oh, I'm a Democrat, or whatever that means to you. Whatever. Look, you get to decide. You're a human being. You have your own fucking options. But if you know that the majority of a specific organization is supporting and hiding certain things like child trafficking, pedophilia, and all of this shit that is not good for other people, like, it's just fucking weird because it's not a conspiracy theory. At first, I myself was like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, that shit seems just too weird to fucking be true. But as things kept coming up, it was like, oh my God, now it's undeniable. It's fucking undeniable. Everybody fucking knows, period. Because it's wide in the open. So when you're seeing things like this, and like you're saying, you have to be able to fucking speak up. One of the examples that shout out to Arash, when he was in a store,
one of the cashiers did not have his mask fully on. I believe that this is how the story went, but this is how I recalled it. The message is what's important here. And he was like, he wasn't wearing his mask, and then he was speaking out loud. You don't gotta wear that shit. Why you gotta wear that shit? They make you wear that shit here, this and that, and then everybody was looking at him, and the main point of the story was that people are acting like if they speak the truth, it's a fucking like it's dangerous, or like you shouldn't speak the truth. You should whisper. You should whisper the truth, because if you whisper the truth, or if you say it too loud and you get caught, you get in trouble for saying the truth, for speaking your mind. Where the fuck are we living? This is the United States of a fucking America. Freedom of fucking speech. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, if you really think about that, bro, and plus, going back to the censorship on social media and everything else, you should be allowed to speak your truth, because your truth is not fucking harming anybody. Instead, it's giving more power to the other individuals so they can make the right decisions in their life, and not the decisions that they're going to make based on false opinions and false facts that other people are preaching. So, yeah, bro, that's huge, man. Huge.
That's huge. That's so fucking true. I mean, we should be able to make decisions for ourselves, unbiased fucking decisions, because the way that it's being pushed right now is just, okay, I'll tell you what you can do. I'll tell you what you can think. You have freedom of speech, but only to a certain degree, only in this parameter, right? If you get outside of this box, then it's no longer freedom of speech. And like, get the fuck out of here. You said it correctly, and I love it. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, fucking speak your truth, man, right? As long as you're adding up to the awareness and the consciousness of each individual, so that they can make up their own fucking mind. They can become their own people of their own experience, not because they saw it on a fucking video, not because they heard it on a fucking podcast. You go out there and you make your own fucking research. You put all these things to the test and see for yourself, because otherwise there's no point in living, man. God damn, which is exactly what you're pushing. They're pushing an agenda where they don't want a lot of people. They want to depopularize the world, because they know that the less people, the more easy to control. And they don't want free thinkers. They just want people that, okay, this is what you're gonna do. This is exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna do as you're told, like a little kid, basically. And that's so fucked up. So that's why you have to push harder. And it's so true also that for a long time now, people have been, I've been seeing and noticing a pattern where people are afraid of their own truth, of their own inner self. They're afraid of themselves. Oh, what are people going to think when I dress flashy? Oh, what are people going to think when I say the F word? Or right now, when we know that there's pedophiles, there's evil, nasty motherfuckers in the world, and people, oh no, don't say don't say it. Why not, man? It is, you are as guilty as the person that is actually committing it, because you are witnessing it and you're not doing shit. Man, shit. I don't know about you, man, but I don't want to be in this world.
No.
I don't want to leave it and think back. Maybe my spirit will look back and say, man, what the fuck was I doing when all of this shit happened? Where was I? Well, I was just wearing a mask, being comfortable in my house. No. I'm out there on the front line as a fucking warrior, as a spiritual warrior, ready to fuck shit up, ready to, we're right now. And I think I mentioned that to you when we met in LA, that we're recruiting the Rainbow family. We're fucking recruiting people from all types of creeds, ethnicities, countries. We need more spiritual warriors so that we can fuck shit up, because if we don't do it, man, there's not going to be any other motherfucking podcast where we can talk about fuck Bill Gates, fuck COVID-19, fuck all this shit, right?
Yeah.
Fucked up, man. It's so fucked up. But I'm glad that you're on that page and you have that level of awareness and you're speaking about it. Because I see a lot of people knowing about this, but they're doing nothing. People in denial, and there are people that know it and they believe in it, and they seen they see the truth, but they prefer to, just see it. No, record yourself, talk about it with your family, with your friends, with your woman, with your man, with everyone. This needs to be normalized. And I'll end it up on this, and then I'll pass it to you if you want to wrap it up, say some things, man. Is I remember when we did our ceremony, I started saying something like this, something similar to this, that we need to normalize this type of talk. We need to normalize the fact that speak your own truth. We need to normalize the fact that you own yourself. The fact that we speak about spirituality, we speak about image, we speak about communication, we speak about wealth and abundance. We need to normalize this, because what is normal right now is scarcity, is fear, is homelessness. Is being a broke ass piece of shit sheep, and that's normal right now. No, we need to normalize the opposite, right? So I'll pass it to you, man, if you have any last thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. I think that, with what you're just saying, we've been too fucking nice. We've been way too nice, man. And it's time for us to actually
Yeah.
shout from the top of our lungs our fucking truth, because it's we can't be silenced, man. That's it. We've been way too fucking nice, and it's time for, again, like, the more that we silence ourselves, like you were just saying, bro, the more contribution we have to their side, and it just circles back to everything that we spoke before. You have to become a role model for the people around you, so that, look, maybe other people don't have the heart or the balls to fucking come out and speak their truth, but they have to see that somebody's doing it regardless of what's fucking being said to them. Let me tell you a quick story, and then you can end it up. You have to come to terms with the moment of your death. You have to come to terms with what exactly you're living for. And that's why I journal, and that's why I become more aware of myself and attune with myself and speak to my family and just really become connected with the people that I love at the same time. Because at the end of the day, the biggest lie that I was told was that you're 22, you don't need to worry about shit. Like, you have your whole life ahead of you, which is bullshit. I could die any fucking moment, So you have to be, and knowing that puts it into perspective. Like, fuck, dude, okay, well, if I can die any moment, am I really living the life that I want to live? And when you ask yourself these questions, okay, what do I stand for? What's my purpose? What do I want to contribute into the world? And am I ready to die for this? Because if I can die any day, I would rather die for the things that I stand for versus the things that are fucking programmed into myself or just that I don't believe in. These are the things that are making me live comfortably, but how long am I going to live comfortably and miserably? You know what I mean? Like, So you have to be able to stand for your truth until fucking death and beyond death, So I've received threats before, from other people, and I'm like, look, bring it on, man. I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to stop talking about the things that I'm talking about, because I'm a fucking warrior. I see myself in the fucking battlefield day in and day out, and that's what brings me the strength, man. Like, I can't be just hanging out and like fucking seeing a lion walking by and just being comfortable here. Like, I can't fucking do that. While the world is going into chaos, I, like yourself, my brother, and like everybody else that's stepping up, we have to be in the front line communicating and standing up for what the fuck we believe. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And, thank you for having me on the podcast, brother.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's so true. It's something that I always like to remind people is become aware of your own mortality. That way, this podcast, if this is the last fucking podcast that you listen it more carefully, more present, more mindful, right? That's so beautiful. Yeah, remember your mortality. I love that you brought it up, man. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, my brother, for being here. This is amazing, man. People, what are you doing right now? Something, you have another seminar, or maybe you have, your podcast. Where can people follow you? What are you doing right now so that people can go look to?
Absolutely, thanks, man. So I am Real Estate Jose on Instagram. On my bio, I have the link to my YouTube channel. My podcast is Built from Pain and all the other platforms. I am having an event October. It's absolutely free on persuasion and communication. So If you guys want to come to that, just hit me up in the DMs. I'll tell you all the information. Right now, we're just figuring out the venue for it, but it's going to be October 3rd. So yeah, I mean, Real Estate Jose on Instagram, that's where I communicate with the world. So that's where you can follow me.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I'll definitely check that out. Your event, especially if you're gonna stream it. You're gonna stream it, right?
Yeah,
Worldwide?
yeah, absolutely. Yep, hell yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely be there, man, because that's pretty amazing. I'm very happy for you for that. So thank you for listening. This was the Fashion Matrix podcast. Remember, you can follow me at Pablo Mentor. If you're more interested in what I do, just go to pablomentor.com. This has been Paul Shore Spines.
Fucking Paul Spines.
Directly with Wellington, el manguito, comiendo manguito con mi hermano José Rodríguez. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. Until the next one, fuck all you.